Big Six.
Richard, my one big thing this week, a new report from the global audit, tax, and advisory services firm KPMG looks at the role of women in family businesses in Saudi Arabia. Really interesting report. Richard, as you know, there are many family businesses in the kingdom, but these firms are changing with the times in Saudi Arabia. With increasing participation rates of Saudi women in the workforce, the report shares insights gathered from interviewing women business leaders working in family businesses across Saudi Arabia, and the women interviewed from top Saudi family companies, some named in the report like Al Zamal Group, Al Faris Group, and some not named. They openly discuss and share their challenges, opportunities, and successes while working with their family business. The report really follows four overarching things. Just want to touch on them quickly here. The first, the role of women in family businesses, in which KPMG looks at the differences and challenges associated with women's varying roles within their families and businesses. KPMG also explores the gender differences that women face in relation to treatment and opportunities within the family business, as well as the role mentors, both male and female, play in advancing women within family businesses. Second theme, leadership styles, explores the traits women are associated with and perceived effect on their leadership capabilities. Third, and I think this is also especially interesting, sustainability of these businesses and succession. KPMG discusses how families are taking an objective, merit-based approach to family businesses and their succession and how that empowers women. And then finally, unique opportunities in mandatory legislation. KPMG examines different perspectives on quotas aimed at increasing the number of women in companies and leadership positions. The company says the overarching goal with this report is to, quote, understand more about the impact changing demographics in Saudi Arabia are having on women in family businesses and their influences on the success of their businesses and their families. Wanted to rotate the spotlight on this week, Richard, and mostly because I think, you know, with you and I reading literally every single news item and almost every report that comes out on Saudi Arabia all the time, you and I both sort of know that when you have reports like this and they feature actual interviews and actual comments with real people on the ground in Saudi Arabia, real people in this case, a position of business, it's really valuable. It's hard to get a gauge of public opinion and attitudes, reactions in Saudi Arabia versus other countries around the world. So when you have a report like this with real quotes, real viewpoints from Saudis, with knowledge on the ground, you're just sort of getting a unique, extra clear window into Saudi Arabia. And so I just want to use my one big thing this week to sort of highlight this report. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting subject as well. Not totally unique to Saudi Arabia in that family businesses operate around the world, but Saudi Arabia's business culture is changing from one, with a lot of family businesses or maybe even dominated by family businesses to being different and more modern. But these family businesses are still not just around, but thriving. And it's because they are adapting to a changing Saudi Arabia.
I thought it was an excellent report. I would strongly recommend it. And I think it was a good choice, Lucien, for your one big thing.
Thank you.
For years and years, there's an understanding within Saudi Arabia that significant assets were controlled by women in a household. And very often this was assets that were part of a family business or whatever, and they had opened their own shops or this sort of thing. And it was kind of a shadow. It's hard to put a number to it, but it was deemed to be considerable. This is entirely different what this report is talking about. And it threads in, like so many things in Saudi Arabia, there's multiple threads going along in order to create a rope, to pull yourself forward. And in this case, it's talking about there's a lot of these private enterprises, a lot of companies are moving to privatize, to professionalize, to the second, third, fourth generation in terms of that sort of thing. But then you have women being introduced into the mix with different expectations, different skill sets, really impressive talent, and it just says a lot that in 2022 that KPMG did this report. And it speaks volumes about what's going on in Saudi Arabia. It's because this is real. These companies are adapting. These women are, injecting themselves into the process. Everyone's trying to find a balance. Change is afoot, and it's moving quickly, and it's just massive. So I think and you capture a little bit with report, you get a little insight of just how deeply and foundational things are changing in Saudi Arabia.
This is interesting too, because it's not just a look at the business side of things, or it's not just an economic looking glass. This was a very readable report because it's also looking at Saudi society. And again, it's really heavy on direct quotes from Saudi business leaders. Just wanted to highlight this one point. And this is a quote from the piece, from the report. The importance of networking is emphasized in KPMG's 2019 Women's Leadership Study, with 82% of professional working women believing that access to and networking with female leaders will help them advance in their careers. Further, a point that was brought up by multiple interviewees was the social norm in Saudi Arabia for women to not discuss business in social settings, even if the women present are business people. Quote, when men socialize, they always talk about work, but when women socialize, even among colleagues, we talk about non-business related topics, like it is a shame to talk about our business or discuss our work, said a family member vice president. Like I said, they have some named quoted people and some that they did so anonymously. Just really interesting, because it just was it is a very readable report, because it's a really cool look at not just Saudi businesses, but also society and how the two are starting to weave together here.
Agreed. Very readable. Highly recommended.
Mm-hmm.